Thanks for joining us on a brand new episode of 420 Grams. Now, for those of you who've been watching our shows regularly, how long has it been since we've been coming your way talking Indian football pretty much every week? Sometimes we, of course, fall off that track and then you don't see us for 3-4 months because we're lazy people. But then we always come back on track and we always find something or the other to talk about Indian football. I think I was talking to Comrade Siddhant Annie here and he said it's been about 3 years since we've started this show. And I feel after 3 years, we've finally been validated. Now, why have we been validated? Cut to the wide cam, because you see the gentleman on our left and on Siddhant's right. He is the technical director of the All India Football Federation, Mr. Isac Doru. So thank you so much for taking our time and joining us on our show. Honestly speaking, even if we don't chat about anything today, we feel like we've had a great show. We're validated. And now we're more than happy to go for another 3 years and keep on doing the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and I really appreciate your show. It's a learning process also for me.
Thank you, sir. So it's been what, more than close to 9 months now?
9 months, 12 days.
9 months, that's specific. But then how's it going, sir? 9 months, 12 days?
Professionally speaking, is a challenge. Living in India is nice. I like the country, the people, spirituality. And professionally speaking is a challenge because we have a lot of things to do. The system is very complex. The country is very big. But I'm very happy that I took that challenge and hopefully I can be successful.
So then, sir, moving forward, first things first. You've got a huge platter in front of you to work on. What is the one thing that you'd say requires your attention the most, moving ahead in the short term at least?
Yes, thank you for your question. Before yesterday, I got a meeting with the guys from FIFA. They put the same questions. And now, are you working for them or are you working for them? And sure, the development of football in India has some priorities. Each individual that is working at different stages, they see the priorities, they analyze the priorities differently. Personally, I have 3 priorities. First is the competition, increasing the quality of the competition in the youth level and professional level. That kind of competition we are working now to see the possibilities, how we can make the league longer, how we can have a league of each age, from 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, because in the structure that we have now, for example, we have a player that is born in 2005, but he will have a league after 2 years. And we need to have that kind of, the synergy between the ages. That is competition. Second is coaching education. And 2 of them are very related because without competitions, the coaches, they cannot develop. A coach is someone who's coaching and the game and training and coaching the game. That if you have 5 games in a year, it's very difficult to be a very good coach. And third priority, and this is for me, I don't want to say it's the third one, but I really like it and I put a lot of energy. We call the grassroots, the golden age, under 12. Now with this baby leagues, with children leagues, with this grassroots development project are the 3 priorities. The main priorities for me as a technical side.
And this, I'm assuming, applies to both boys and girls, men and women across, right?
Right. It's, especially in the grassroots, we don't do a discrimination. We want to play together.
Everyone plays together.
Yes, boys, girls, play, have the game, had fun. And I saw a few games as a mix. Really, 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 really surprised by the talent of the girls. And so this is organic talent. I call every time I'm telling this is the liquid gold. How this liquid gold create a beautiful jewelries with the coaching, with the competitions. That is our job.
In a sense, sir, whenever you talk about Indian football, this has been the story. that there is a lot of liquid gold in this country, but then as soon as that liquid gold gets into the structure of the country, you tend to lose that.
Right.
You tend to lose the sheen of that gold.
Right.
And you, in a sense, you suppose that is the bigger challenge, to fix the structure. Right. Because you're talking about grassroots level football, under 12, under 13. They're possibly playing, I think, about 14 games in a season.
And less.
Less than that as well.
Teams that are playing less.
Less than that.
The successful is going 14. And they want to create a platform, or minimum they can have 40. 50, because you progress in the game. The game is producing enthusiasm, energy, progressing, investor, fun, love, passion, and intelligence of the game.
So, but then how do you do that? Because there is one way of saying, from the federation's point of view, where you're saying, I want a team to play 30, 40 games. Yeah. But then there is the other side of it, which is the person who's putting the money into that club, who's trying to get the kids together for 30, 40 games. As opposed to 10 games, his expenses go up. He says, what do I gain from this? And so on,
Yes. I think the people now that are putting the money in the game, especially for youth, they are smart enough. And they said, okay, I put that kind of money for 10 games and in the end I get nothing.
Yeah.
Or I invest, let them develop them. It's up to us to explain the development process. And I think the state associations play a huge role, because we try now to decentralize a little bit, with the games, to go to the state association, that the kids, they need to have games, 20, 30 games on the state level, and then on the national level, organized by IFFF, 10, 12 games. In total, we give a platform of 40 games. That is good.
Oh, it's interesting. So, how is that relationship developing between you sitting at the center and the units at the federal level? So, the states, how is the response been?
Now is because we have been talking about the priorities in the technical side, but
right.
At the administration side, it's very related with the development of football in India. We have been creating state development section inside of technical department.
Yeah.
And we have a group of staff that is going now to every state associations, where we try to design a development program for them and leagues for them. The problem that we are facing is not a secret, because we work together here with honestly, and we need to share the reality, is that the state associations, they are the people that are working on the honorary. They have jobs, they don't have time. They're not a professional organization. And in some extent, they do a fantastic job, because they give up the time for their family to go to organize league in the weekends, to work, and a 2-3 person, what they can do in the population that is 50 millions. And with time, I hope that all the state associations will get professional organizations, and they can organize properly the football there.
But you reckon there's still time for that? Because this is such a huge country. Sir.
Yes.
So if I can just ask a quick follow-up on this, because I know that there was a program where FIFA was giving some money to the state associations to appoint a marketing person.
Yes,
such.
We call it development officer.
Development officer.
Yes, we got some funds for FIFA that will finish now in June. We got 11 development officer in 11 states. Yes, they tried there. They organize the leagues, Golden Baby Leagues, coaching education program, schedule for them, leagues, competition, and we have seen some progress there. Some states are becoming very active with the work of those gentlemen.
Right.
And now the problem that I'm facing is, okay, FIFA is not going to support this.
Oh, is that in your recent meetings with FIFA?
We are begging with this project, but it's not. And FIFA also, yes, but we try to help you. But what you do as a country to help yourself?
True, that's fine. That makes sense. Also,
FIFA, it should not help only India. There are a lot
other
of
countries
as well.
And other countries where sort of the federation is not backed by a. Because here we have now a very, very wealthy sort of corporation that is a commercial partner for the AIFF. So surely there are some resources that can be brought in from there.
Yes, but
It's a
I
fair
think
point,
with
I
now
guess.
the state associations, they can do it. And now we are working. First, we need to screen the reality in every state.
Right.
How many fields we have, how many registered players we have, how many coaches exist there, A, B, C. And we are in the stage now of screening the reality. And just 2 hours ago, I got the email from another 2 states. We have 12 states that are screened. We know exactly what we have. And based on that, we try to build up a plan accordingly to see financially how we can, maybe the local government that can support to create properly a professional structure that can run the football in that state, because football is not a game, is a social event, is an education process, is a social communication as well.
So you reckon, since you brought that up right now, you reckon that's an area of the game in this country at least, if you talk about the larger scheme of things, that is missing, the social side of it. Because if you talk about big footballing countries all over the world, there is always a social angle. There's a class angle. There's a working angle. And that connect brings you to the game. As such, you have Calcutta, you have a bit of Kerala, you have a bit of Goa, and Northeast, of course. But beyond that, you reckon that is the challenge? Because if you really want honest football fans, rather than saying, I want this guy's jersey, but you want someone to be connected with the game from the head on, from the beginning, that is an area you need to really approach.
Yes, Robs. Yes, it's a very good observation. I'm participating in a lot of international conferences representing India, and all the other directors say, you are lucky, man. 1.3 billion people. Yes, I'm lucky, I'm happy. But from 1.3 billion, only 600 million are involved in something in football. There are states we don't have only one academy. And this mass development of football in the country, I'm sure we get some extent, but not only the federation could participate in that action. I mean, maybe AFC, FIFA, and the local government and the central government. Because as we mentioned, bringing the people together in the stadium, having that kind of vibration, or the young kids learn from football different value that they can use in life, same as leadership, creativity, intelligence, mental toughness, never give up in difficult situations. We are part of the development of human beings, and we need to work together with all the vectors of education in the country.
So just moving on now, of course, from the youth side, and moving on to the senior side, in particular, if I may ask you, and we were having a lovely conversation off camera where you were specifying that you need to have that one, and I still remember this from your press conference, and probably it's because of your accent, it stayed with me. You said, synchronize the style of play. And this synchronized style of play, what would that be for you? Having spent 9 months now in this country, looked at the players.
Okay. As look, every each nation have a playing philosophy, a way that they play, and a way that the fans love the national team to play. All the fans in the world, they want to win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty obvious, yeah.
But there are countries, they want to win in a different fashion. I cannot see Spain with long ball, kick and run.
Yeah.
They will try like this, even if they will win, they will get buoyed by the fans. They don't love that, It's based on possession, and dominant play, being in control of the game. And now we are on the faces in India with all the other technical directors from the club, from the youth development of the head, to create a playing philosophy, at least to identify some value, how you want to play the game. And after 9 months that you mentioned, in the beginning, I said, how I can see that country. For me, synchronized, that word, I choose is very careful. Because, in the game, we have two big moments, defense and attack, right? And of course, transition. But those two moments, we need to create a synchronization in attack and in defense between the 11 players. And in attack, we have synchronized 11 players. Doesn't mean that only the 3 players in attack, they are attackers.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can see the wing backs, we build back the goalkeeper. When he has the ball, he's the first attacker. Yes, we have players synchronized in attack, synchronized in defense. It means if I have the striker, number 9, but without the ball, you are a defender.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that if you sometimes go to
first line of defense.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then how you synchronize between these 2 moments of the game.
That, I guess, that is the transition.
Yes,
that
the
is
transition. Yes.
And both ways.
Yes.
Not just transition from defense to attack, but also from back again.
Yes, we call, in the moment that we lose the ball and in the moment that we regain the ball.
Yeah.
And what I insist for you guys, I said synchronized. In India, we can do it. I really believe that Indian players, when they come in a group, they respect the value of the group. I haven't seen a superstar, this mentality. And more than that, I pick up that word and the concept from the dance. The best dancer in the world, you are, guys. Not in my view. I'm not a specialist in dancer.
Our wives wouldn't agree, sir. They'll probably think otherwise. Our wives would probably think otherwise.
Not us guys. Maybe not us guys.
I wanted to have some lesson from you. Last week we got in America. American get Thailand the champions.
Right.
By not following, but my wife, she called me. Oh, we won! What we won? It was just the Paris Saint-Germain lost, not won. No.
Yeah,
we won. With what? A group of dance from India, from Mumbai, from a slum. With the dance, the synchronization of each play, each movement, each second, each pounds, each space, the best in the world.
Yeah.
And if we have this mentality, if we apply it to football, and everyone needs to respect, understand the role, that is, synchronized football.
So the follow-up would be this, that after 9 months, and probably I'm a little too early in asking you this question, because to develop a style of play, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But from whatever you've seen of the quality of player that you have in front of you, what would be the right style of play for the Indian national team, provided they're playing in the Asian Cup on a regular basis?
Yes. First, I don't want to correct you. I think not only the national team, because the national team cannot play a style what is different of the leagues, the Super League or I League that play in the national level. I think the playing style or playing philosophy or game model of our football in India that would be loved and appreciated by everyone need to be based on possession. And more than that, what is that? To be dominant, because when you have the ball, you are dominant. You are in control of your destiny, right? Then we need to be very dynamic. In India, people, you are all is a dynamic society, a dynamic human beings. You see what's in the street, you see the people, and everything is dynamic.
There's constant movement.
Movement.
People are always
without movement. It's a dynamic. I've been in a lot of country, but I'm feeling here real dynamic. And coming to the game, what's that mean? Being dynamic. Let's say I give you one criteria. In 90 minutes, you've been going in Spain, in Italy, Japan, Premier League. They have actions in game over 190 minutes, right? And the people are interested in their dynamic. Now in our game, in the national level, if we have 20, 28 actions in 90 minutes, there is not a dynamic game. And the fans, they are not going to love that. They are not going to appreciate that. Maybe they will come once for the game because marketing, because friends, but they will not come every game to watch the team. And we need to create that playing style, as mentioned. And I think some value will be then to need to be dominant, based on possession, then to be dynamic, to be very fast, when we say fast, it's not only the running fast,
Thinking.
speed of thinking, speed of changing direction, change of tempo, fast, slow, fast, right? Or accelerate, decelerate, accelerate, right?
Well, yeah. Also, I suppose, when to go.
Yes, and playing,
when to-
also fast would be the playing, speed of playing. I explain to you. The time split between the first touch and the second touch. In modern football, the one that go more in details. In average, in Europe, a player keep the ball 2.2 seconds in average.
Between first and second?
No.
Keep
on
the
average.
ball.
On average.
In total.
Okay.
In
You
total.
have 2.2 seconds. 90 minutes, 60, 80 seconds.
Yeah.
But in this 2.2 seconds is an eternity.
Yeah.
And from the first touch to second touch is less than 1 second.
Flash.
Or one, yes.
Or it should be,
Yes, tap. Because then, it's the flow.
Yeah.
And we are used with that kind of speed of playing in Europe. The fans, they are used to see that kind of speed. Otherwise, they don't come watching. And if not, we are in the phases now to we call, mobile playing. I receive the ball, I give Yes, okay. After you receive the ball, maybe you go for the coffee. Yes, with black, with sugar.
I'm not joking. So we play on Sundays. We have a regular game, fixed group of people. Most of the other, we play six-a-side. Here in
amateur Maradona.
Amateur
Maradona.
Great.
Yeah.
So exact same conversation I'm having. You're playing the guy who's playing center midfield. He's receiving the ball. He knows he's going to receive the ball. The ball is coming to him. Still, he waits for the ball to come, traps it, then looks up and thinks about what he's going to do. Then he tries to do it. By that time, 3 people are on him, and that's the end of the story.
That's modern football now is changing the vibe. And we say, that if we have that kind, let's say the criteria, the way that we want to play fast between the first and second.
Yeah.
If all these 11 players, we have the same synchronized idea. I know that you are going to release the ball fast. I'm going in the space.
And in the space. Yeah.
Yes. And, with this, sometimes I'm watching the Super League, the league, they're fantastic play. It's one touch to that.
But 5 foreigners, sir, as well. I mean, that's my point.
Yeah, but even those 5, they are not super player.
Yeah,
or 5 or whatever it is, But we need to create that kind of awareness. Doesn't mean that let's start to play fast in India because Isaac wants you to play. But it's the way that people that love play, and especially football is a show, is a passion, is life. And being in Brazil is a life. Been there, many times, and it's a life. In Europe, it's a life. It's our, social cake, social, sweets, the games. If we have a game after 3 days, we cannot sleep. We cannot wait to go for the game.
Yeah.
And in India also, I was surprised, especially in the I-League games. We go 60,000 people on the game. Then it's
that also because the stadium is now smaller. If the stadium was bigger, there would be 100,000 people also.
Yeah, then Mohan Bagan will be happy. And what's and also the people, what we are there in stadium or 20,000, and one Indian player has 9.5 volley kick. I don't want to say the name of that because I don't want to create jealousies. And 20,000 people say, "Whoa!" This now creating that kind of vibration and
energy,
entertainment. That's the football. That's the passion, and that we can, survive as a long term in India. If we create that kind, if we add to our playing philosophy that kind of playing. I've seen also the other day. Let's say we can say Roy Krishna over kick, or he make this bicycle. Wow! Even the fans. The other team, all this vibration should be, part of philosophy of playing.
So then I hate to be the purveyor of bad news or sort of the purveyor of the man who brings in reality, because we're in a country where we're still trying to grow as a nation. My point being, do we really have the luxury of chasing a style of play? Because more often than not, when you're chasing a style of play, it is also conflicting with results. It happens world over, sir. So as a country, do you suppose we have that luxury? Because we're still trying to maintain a foothold in Asia, trying to qualify regularly for the Asian Cup. And more often than not, when we're playing teams stronger than us, we might have to adopt Route 1 football. Bang on the counter, sit back, which might not be the most pleasurable thing for a fan to watch. And thus,
I think you will be an excellent president of the club, if you put the point in the... Of course, in the professional world is a result. If I lose a game, I cannot sleep before the game, exciting, because everything is related to the results. And playing philosophy, it's helping. In which terms? To create a game model and a youth development. We want our youngest, I want you, son, congratulations for having a new baby.
Thank you, sir.
As well.
Thank you, sir.
Daughter, yes, we want you, daughter, or you, son, to play a game that they can be happy self-expression. Yes. And we need to create for them a youth development concept to develop, that we call development, but to develop towards what? We need to give, them an objective. That's the way that we play. And playing philosophy is more, related to the development of football as a long term. At the short term, we want to win. I'm agreeing with you. You stay in defense. Yes, there 90 minutes, we have one counter and win. And maybe you can win that game, but if we play 10 times, I guarantee you, scientifically prove or not prove, that you're not able to be a winning team. Sometimes we are lucky, we can win the game in defense, we can go half of the court twice in the 90 minutes, they can win. Good, congratulations. But if we play 10 times against the same opposition, we are going to lose 8 times. And when we want to prepare a team as a nation, we want to have a winning mentality. I prepare you to be able to win from 10 games that we play with them, 6 or 7 to be dominant. And that we need to find the resources, to develop, to add value to our player, to physicality, to speed of play, to explosive power, and technical things, technical skills that could be able to win every game that they are on the field, in the battle.
So then, sir, would you...
I don't want to...
you just keep bouncing off, man.
Man.
Someone's talking pure football here.
So Dennis Bergkamp's book is called Stillness and Speed, right?
I love that player, sir. Favorite player.
But just the name of the book, Stillness and Speed at the same time. So fluidity, speed, dynamism, all of that, but also patience and sthirta, So what you're saying about the luxury of time, do we have the luxury of time? I absolutely think that we do. And there's no other way to develop all of these things other than to take the time.
I'll tell you why, bhai. Because the thing is,
India can't, we want to. Kya ho raha hai? Because of technology, because of global best practices, because of FIFA's interest in developing India as a strong partner country, we have skipped 30, 40 years in our natural evolution of the game. Just as in other parts of society also, right? So we went from a country where a large number of people were illiterate to suddenly the largest number of mobile phone users in the world, right? Or subscribers. So on day one, you have zero information. And on overnight, literally, you have all the information in the world in your hand, right? So we have to, as a overall society, and football is a part of that, I think, come to terms with how fast things are developing and find our own way in that, man. And that will take time.
So, yes, sir.
Yes, sorry. I want to, I think both of you are right. Yes. We need to have the long term and the short term. What you say is the short term. There is no long term without short term, right? As a short term, we have people that put in the money in the market, investor, this and that. You play not a good game. Okay, for the time being, we don't have relegation system, right? But in the moment that you have the relegation system, the winning, the competition,
it'll go a lot more.
Yes, and that's the especially as the professional side, the short term. Yes, we need to win. Prepare your team to win. Do everything to win. Whatever it's your playing philosophy. Stay in defense there. Just pump the ball on the kick and run. It's up to you. If you want to win, you do it.
Yeah.
But as a long term, the common sense is showing us, in football, that you cannot win. You play 10 games, staying only in defense.
Yeah.
You are not going to go to the World Cup.
Because there's another team also. It's not only about what you do, I guess.
That we need to create something in the short term to development of the game. That we call football development and development of football. But I'm really agreeing with you at the short term, if there is not successful development of the game.
So then, sir, would I be right in saying your vision, your long-term vision, for it to actually succeed and for it to show as far as results and to coincide with results, would that be a minimum of 10 years? A minimum of 10 years, and we can't expect that from this current national team because for them, the time is gone to play that kind of football.
But the current national team is quite young.
But
not that young as well.
You know what? I'm really expecting for all the national teams, especially the senior men and women. Whatever is the philosophy of playing, the playing style, and the tactical approach, individual, group, team, designed by the coach, want to win. Dirty win, I will accept.
The dirtier the better.
Dirty win, I will accept.
Yeah.
Maybe in my heart I will cry a little bit. I will accept.
Yeah, but it showcases this then.
Yes, I will accept, right? But in the long term, and I don't want to escape my responsibilities because I'm not looking to spend 10 years here in India to say, long term. I want to be successful, and it's possible. It's a little bit a lack. Remember our game first against Qatar. Yes, the national team of Qatar. I've been the coach in Qatar. I know them very well. And in that game, we have been very lucky.
Yeah.
Agree or not?
Of course.
Totally agree.
We can
totally agree.
have 3 points and 1 point, but we've been lucky. And the players, efforts, the staff, all the efforts, the tactical strategy. Okay, we have been lucky, we get a point. But who guarantees us that we can be lucky every time?
When they come back here.
Every time.
Yeah.
Or no, what's happened with Bangladesh.
Yeah. Suddenly we had to switch styles.
Who has been lucky?
But Bangladesh, we were lucky again.
I don't know, but okay.
We were lucky again against Bangladesh because that could have been 0 points.
I think, that's my philosophy as well. As a human being, as a coach, I want the destiny in my hands. Yes.
Yeah.
The destiny of our team should stay in our hands, not only in the luck. If the luck is helping, it's not only in the hands of God.
Yeah.
In the legs, in the brain of each player, when the 11 players with the staff, when we go there and we are fighting, fighting every second. We go with a fighting spirit. We are humble and fighting. Everything is possible.
Yeah. I think this point just quickly, that winning, losing, to me, of course, because you are there in that seat and it's important it's one of the criteria by which your job is measured. So for you, of course, the results matter. For us as fans, to me at least, it doesn't matter. How we lose is also important. What you're saying about fighting and all of that stuff.
Yes.
The result is not the most important thing.
Yes.
It's what you do in those 90 minutes.
That I appreciate in India, the fans, you guys, because you have this holy kind of spirit and to say, we fight, we do everything, and we're losing.
Yeah.
Yes. For me,
I think
but you appreciate
the times
that
when
we fight.
Yeah.
It's okay. We are giving everything.
If we do that.
Yes.
The time when we are critical of the team is only when we feel that the team has not done that.
Yes. But you will see in 10 years, football environment in India is going to change because you will have relegations.
Yes, sir.
You have promotions, and you are losing one game. You can go second division. You're losing, $20 million.
Yeah.
And then he say, we go there, whatever it is, dirty win, whatever, to have a good result. It's centered, the results. But in the same time, is that kind of generosity for the fans, to say, yeah, they try, they do very good, that it's, I think it's one of the most valuable things that I appreciate to the fans.
So in the short term, and I'm taking this conversation, this is the last question on this conversation so we can move forward. In the short term, with the team that we have right now, would you reckon the best suited style of play for the players that we have currently is win the ball, quick passes, transition, make your foray into goal and come back and organize?
Yeah.
Is that the best way for you?
Yes, I think, Igor, what he's trying to do, and I really, really appreciate his courage. We have done now a transition for a previous playing style or game that in some ways has been successful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And we switched to another playing style. It's for good, it's for bad. We know as technicians that is for good, because you cannot win, again, be competitive and win an international standard games only staying in defense and bam, long pass. You cannot, okay.
But then the quality of the player also takes into account, can they give you what you're looking for?
Yes, the players, they have skills. It's how we apply the skills.
Okay.
Example, we have Sunil Chetri, right?
Yeah.
Give him a long ball in the air, and being 1 against 4. We are gonna not use his skills.
Yeah.
Right? And for that, he's very successful now with Bangalore. He's scoring goals, the crossing, his possession, space, taking the ball, And as much as we can produce football, we can progress. And I appreciate Igor because he tried to say, okay, let's, be dominant in the game. Let's have the possession of the game. Let's have a good mobility of the ball, movement of the ball, fast the ball, create space, and finishing fast. Of course, we are not successful on that because the league itself is not consistent.
Yeah.
But that's the way that I believe, make us successful in the future as a winning nation. Not only ambition to participate, or no. Now, we will have FC Goa in the Champions League.
Yes, sir.
Yes. We need there to go to win, not just to be happy, we have been there, And then I'm sure in the way they will play, they will try, they will be successful there with a modern game playing style.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask, since we met at this launch event for the Under-17 Women's World Cup that's going to happen in India in a few months' time. Since you are the technical director of all of India's not just the national team, but all of Indian football, you're the right person. I suppose we could ask you questions. We should ask you questions about everything.
Please go ahead.
but I don't know if we have 6 hours. So the Under-17 women's team, how is that shaping up? What kind of talent pool does India have? Because none of us really know much about. It's a small pool at the moment, and it's a pool that you're trying to develop. So just tell us a little bit about the team.
So, would you agree that these are extraordinary circumstances under which a team for a World Cup is being prepared?
Right.
As opposed to what happens in world football. You developed a camp of 40, 50 players. Then you're choosing the best players for a World Cup. So you're already going against the grain.
Same as it was for the boys.
Same as it was for the boys as well.
Yes. As you know, it's an unnatural environment.
Yeah.
To be very honest. But now with the help of the government, we try to create all over the country. We have now in 11 countries, in 11 states, a league for the girls, under 17. On the leagues, they can play more games, and we'll pick up also the best player from the leagues. You know. But all the members that are now with the national team, previously they have been with under 15, with the SAF champion. They have some kind of experience. We bring a new technical staff, with experience, professionals, specific staff, academic, very good. And they will try to maximize all the results from that group. Of course, if we compare with all the other nations in Asia, is Korea's 4 times world champion, the 17, or is Japan.
World champion, world champions.
We cannot compare. And we can see some slight progress with the evolution of our team. By the way, yesterday they won against my mother country 0-0. And there are some progress there.
Okay.
But we need to accept who we are. And when we go there in the 90 minutes, as you mentioned, each player, we should not have the head down.
Yeah.
We know who we are. We know our strength points, weakness points. We know that we don't have a lot of games. But when we go there in the field, I want to transform this field in a battlefield. At least after the game, whatever will be the results, everyone said, our boys and girls fight, battle for it. And that will make me proud. When we go, we know with respect to our opponents, they are better than this and that and that. I think we are losing 20% of our confidence. Go there, fight, and we see if the opponent, they are far better, well, sure they are going to win. But at least we respect the spirit of the game. We give them a good fight.
Fair enough.
And I think the ingredients are here with our girls. I saw some talented one. I've seen also the national team's women's. We got good talent in the final of the IWL. Amazing player.
Yeah. You saw the Nepalese player, sir, the striker for Gokulam? The girl with the short hair?
Savitra.
She plays for Nepal.
Yes, Samba.
Samba.
Yes,
Samba.
I know her.
Look like a solid player, sir.
But we have somebody else that I really like more.
Okay.
I don't tell you the
I
name.
won't ask you the name.
No, it's okay. But I appreciate the skill. It's Grace.
Grace. Yeah. Okay.
And I think more players, they will follow the steps of Bala to go abroad to have that kind of experience, because the skill is there. And
the gap also is much lesser in women's football as far as when you compare with the world, as opposed to the men's game.
Right. Because the tradition, the games, the development of the games for women is different in every country. But I think personally, I really believe that in women's we have the talent, we have the ingredients to be one of the leading nations in India, in Asia.
Yeah. Fair point.
That kind of we call coordination movement, locomotor movement, reaction movement. Naturally, you have it here. Example, in Japan, I was working
physicality
in Japan.
Also, I
we
think,
need, what in the United States, we need to teach, we need to spend precious time of our training session to work on the coordinations. And I see a 7 years old or a 10 years old or 11 years old girl coordinated by nature. Because, barefoot, walking, doing activities, dynamic. And I think we have the talent, but the talent without work, without very hard work, without a concept, is, as you mentioned, a liquid gold that is going somewhere else.
It's being lost.
Down the drain.
Yeah.
Right.
So just before we end this, this is one hot topic that's been going on in Indian football for a while. It's on the structure of the league, which is now finally we're seeing relegation promotion will be implemented in a couple of years. If I were to ask you, and now you've seen the structure, you've seen the clubs that have money. You've seen clubs that don't have money. And when you want to put them all together, it could also cause a problem, because then you might have someone who's not able to compete with someone with the kind of financial muscle the other clubs would bring. What for you would be the ideal structure for a league, top league, and how many teams would you want to see in it in total?
Okay, I will start with it's my personal. I never discussed with anyone about it. And also nobody asked me what I'm really thinking. You are the first person. And you and probably my wife also. I think at this scale, at the short term, in the next 10 years, we need to have 18, 20 teams.
By 10 years, we need to have 20 for the main league. Okay.
With relegations or play-on system. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then second divisions and third divisions.
Yeah.
Depends on how financially the country will go. Maybe the third division will be in the state level.
Yeah.
Yes. Or the second division will be by regions, same as in US, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, something like this. But I see the 18, 20 teams.
18, 20 teams. So, but do you reckon how does that happen? Because you've got someone here who's spending 30 CR. You got someone who's probably spending 3 CR.
Yes. This could be in an organization or professional league. There are licensing criteria. You go in the Premier League, you cannot compare Manchester City budget with Leicester with Everton. Right? Always there will be financial imbalances all over the world that exist. But doesn't mean that financially a weak team cannot win against a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the ways, again, the intelligence, the staff, how you build the academies also, and how you do the scouting of the players, the coaches. What's happened a few years back with Leicester, who was supposed Leicester would be, but those imbalances, they will be there.
And that is the romance of the sport as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and what happens we talk about Leicester, but what happens in the I-League every year? A small club from Aizawl, from Punjab, from wherever, comes in and beats the Mohun Bagans and the East Bengals that have all the relatively, right? It's comparative.
Now the environment in India is in the face of getting birth.
Mm-hmm.
If you accept my word, is 4 months pregnant woman. We don't know if it will be a baby, will be a girl, vomiting, a headache, but we are evolving, right? We have a roadmap. Good, not good, could be better. I accept everything, but we have one.
Yeah.
And as much as we have one, we know in the time what we'll do. And imbalances financially will be, but the most important thing will be the supporters. And I believe that we can have in one city, same as because India is very huge,
massive.
2 teams.
5 teams.
Look in Madrid.
Yeah.
London.
If you see Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Real, it's in the history of those 2 clubs. How they get born, how this evolution.
Yeah.
Manchester City and Manchester United. And you see what's by the social development of the people, they choose, example, the middle class, they go with Atletico de Madrid.
Yeah.
Middle class, Real Madrid, a little bit royalist, this, elite, they go there. And the fans, they choose. Yes. And as much as we create this diversity, the fans they are going to choose. I don't think that will be some transition from the fans from one club to another club. Definitely. Yeah. Look what's happened now in Super League. We have the youngest generation crazy about Super League. They're going, watching the game, they look, and those the youngest generation of the Super League because well organized, different playing style. And my generations were more an Indian league because they know the history, they know its tradition. And for me, it's quite interesting to see this match between the generations, how it grow the football. And we have the ingredients here. The owner of the Super League, the FSDL, do a fantastic job. The owners of the I leagues, they are struggling financially. I know, I talk with them, but we are in the process. As I mentioned, we are, like say, 4 or 5 months pregnant woman, and I'm sure that we'll have a beautiful baby that will be champions once in Asia.
So final question from my end. Sorry, I'm just the raw materials for what you want to develop are your players. And since you've been so forthright with us on everything, this rule of having 5 foreigners in the playing 11, how long do you see it lasting? Because then it could start impacting the development of the Indian player, for which, of course, you guys are all here.
Yeah, if I will have the power to decide, I will change it. With due respect to the foreigners. I'm a foreigner in that country as well.
Yeah.
And the fans, they want to see a high level of performance, show performance, yes. But taking in considerations the reality of the country, we got now, 92, 93 accredited academies. There are criteria to accredit the academy, Those criteria are not built in India, but they come from international standard. We have 93 academies. They're playing leagues, have coaches, has concepts, have fields, have balls, have everything. And we have another 500 academies, non-accredited. It's very amateurs, people have private academy they are playing. There is a massive pool of people that are playing football.
Yeah.
And I think that 3+1 is the right step. And if you ask me from when we start this, from last year. Because
bang on, because they're playing Champions League next season and they have to play 3+1.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
How do you manage then?
And more than that, we now everything, we have done mistakes. I don't know. I do mistakes every day.
Yeah. It's human.
I do a lot of mistakes in the world because everyone's complaining. But I learn from my mistakes.
Yeah.
And we got the rule of 6 foreigners, right?
Yeah.
In your roster, 6.
Yeah.
Only 5 are playing.
5 are playing, yeah.
Then you bring someone that you are going to kill him mentally because he is not going to play. He doesn't have any opportunity to play, only the injury or the red card. Yes?
Yeah.
That rules for me, it's tricky. I'm not, because I'm going to kill mentally the foreign players, right? And that's for a second. And I think we have the resources. And I'm very grateful to this Super League and some clubs in the I League, because especially this season, I've seen a lot of young players.
Indian players.
Yes, a lot of. When I came out, Super League, all players, 35, 27.
Del Piero.
Yeah. Mutu, so, many, yes. And Anelka as well, And now I see 17, 18, 19 years old. And I would like to say as a father, as a technical person, thank you to the coaches, to the clubs, to have that vision.
Yeah.
And to see that the future of India is okay. Bring the youngest blood there. Yeah. You create motivation and competitiveness.
Yeah.
Because the youngest one, they want to, to be there in the game. And you can see how they progress. Say, I don't want to repeat again the name, but I've seen as Jamshedpur, a boy, 17 years old, left-legged. Playing. Who was expecting that we would have, 18 years old? Or, that competitiveness inside the team create and develop the players. Look, it's Farouk also, they're coming from, there is competitiveness there, and they are playing, they are growing. And for that, I say, for me, it's 3+1.
Is the right way forward.
Yes, the right way. And maybe to develop more, I'll be maybe the second division or a league to be, under 19 or under 21 rules.
Two players coming in from that place.
Yes, or, something to make a rule. But that depends also the owners how they want to have it or not. But I think we are there. We are in the process.
Yeah.
And hopefully we have positive results that can motivate all the players,
everyone,
the staff,
stakeholders.
Stakeholders. Let's say the fans, to believe that we can play football in India, because it's not new. You played, 50 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
You played, and it was just by accident of history of social development that football going down would not exist. But nowadays the youngest one, they are playing, and the 8 and the 9 playing. And sometimes, really amaze me, because when I'm living behind my apartment is the park. 6 o'clock in the morning, play, ball, they make me say, I'm dreaming or what, I'm going out, they are playing. Or at the 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock with a little bit that we don't have the, the huge lights, it's more light, they put there and play. That is, the passion is there. It make me think about Brazil, it's the same passion on the players playing, barefoot, or you go on the beach in Mumbai, are playing. That is, the passion is there. We need to work together. That a little bit surprise in India, because we need to work together. The ego is huge in India, same as in my mother country in Romania.
Yeah,
it seems that we are brotherhood, between the two countries. The ego is there.
Yeah,
too much, and I'm someone that I really like to work in a group, to share, and to find the idea together. And but this, whatever it is, too much is not good for life. It's not good for progressing. Ego is good, but too much ego,
not good.
It's critical. We need to clean this and bring the people together. Let's play, and hope and dream.
Cool. So I think that brings us to the end of this conversation. We take our cue from those boys, because one of them, they slept. The cricket loving boys. They slept.
One or two have left, I think.
But sir, once again, we're so grateful and thankful.
Thank you for having me. And needless to say that I really appreciate you showing.
Thank you so much,
I decided to come, because I know you are part of football development, and all your critics that you have are positive. We need to take it positive, because we are same players in the football development. We are maybe on the pitch, you are off the pitch, and we need to work together and to learn from each other.
Team sport, yeah.
Absolutely. So and we hope you do come again sometime. Whenever.
After the baby will get born and 9 months, we still
perfect, sir.
To work in
that'll be the perfect end to the story.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very
so
much.
Once again, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of 420 grams. As always, when we're talking pure football, we do not take a look at how long the conversation is going. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Thank you.